Madam DA has already become notorious for sweetheart deals for dozens of accused criminals, to openly declaring war on a left-leaning, yes, a liberal judge who dared to express concern over one of those deals, to lobbing accusations of racism against those who criticize her. Just this week, her office apparently dropped gang enhancements when charging 3 men accused of shooting and killing 5-year-old Eliana Crisestimo, who was sitting in her family's car when police say the alleged gang members mistook the vehicle for that of a rival gang and opened fire, killing Eliana. A gang sentencing enhancement to the murder charge was included for each of the 3 suspects when they were booked by the California Highway Patrol. Investigators say they believe all are gang members affiliated with the Mexican mafia. Now, that enhancement, which could make the defendants eligible for life in prison without parole, was not included when Price's office filed murder charges against the suspects last week. Price has spoken out against these types of enhancements multiple times.
If convicted as currently charged, each defendant faces a minimum of 42 years to life exposure. However, we are continuing to evaluate the case. We're continuing to receive information. Additional charges may be brought at a future time.
Investigators working on the case clearly believe they had enough evidence to say these guys are gang members, believe they were taking out a rival gang member. And now it's clear that she doesn't want the enhancement, but hopes that people might forget about it if she just kicks it down the road. But most importantly, Price is now going after the media, singling out local media reporters who have had the gall to, get this, report on her policies. Price is the featured speaker at a rally being held this weekend by members of a group prominently featured on her own campaign website to, quote, demand that the anti-Price media, including ABC 7 News and those who lost the election, stop lying and unjustly attacking the county's first black woman district attorney. We cannot let ABC 7 and the station's allies who support policies that result in mass incarceration of black, brown, and low-income people tear down all the hard work DA Price has done in her first 100 days. The local ABC station and 2 of its reporters in particular, Dion Lim and investigative reporter Dan Noyes, recent headlines have covered, ironically, allegations of racism within the DA's office against Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders, community protests to recall Price, Price's perceived waffling on pursuing the full sentences allowed by law for violent criminals, Price's push to disqualify a veteran judge because he challenged a plea deal her office wanted, interviews with prosecutors who called Price's policies dangerous. In a tweet about the planned rally, reporter Dan Noyes writing, quote, DA Pam Price still refuses my request for an interview, and she and her staff have never disputed a single fact in my reports because they're absolutely accurate. So what does she do? Call a rally for her supporters to come out against ABC 7. Wonder who will attend. Now, Price has made veiled accusations against that reporter before for her coverage of another case, 2-year-old Jasper Wu, who was killed during a rolling gang battle on a California freeway. Lim reported that Wu's family was concerned that DA Price was not committed to pursuing the maximum sentences against their son's killer, and Price seemed to take that reporting very personally, sidestepping the issue at hand and instead repeatedly making it about racism against her.
They have been misled by people who have a racist agenda, that have attacked me as a black woman, that have created this narrative that somehow because I'm black, that I'm not going to prosecute people who killed someone of Asian descent. That is a lie. I think that people who are saying that to them and are saying that publicly are lying, and they are misleading the family.
No one reasonable is talking about her race, except for her. She talks about it a lot. Can you imagine if a conservative DA was holding a rally to attack the media? The national media outlets would all be there all over it. How dare you attack the free press, etc. And they'd have a point. Look, Price and her supporters are clearly concerned over growing calls for a recall. They have to just look across the bay. The case of former San Francisco DA Chesa Boudin, recalled after a little over 2 years in office for seemingly putting far-left politics and reforms above competent criminal prosecution. And in response to the outcry over her leadership, price in this case is continuing her narrative of victimhood, claiming her critics are just dangerous racists. Well, we are going to continue to follow it from a law enforcement perspective, from an effectiveness perspective. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.